Hi, this is Jay Batson with Greenlight Group. Today we're going to look at an aspect of NNM that a lot of my customers don't use too much, but I think is very useful. NNM lends itself very well to constricting URLs to display certain pieces of the interface elsewhere. So you can do integrations in other websites. In today's example, we're going to show how to build a dynamic link and send that out in an alert email so that whoever gets that alert can click on the link and go right to NNM and see what's going on. Our assumptions here really is just some basic understanding of scripting, some NNM admin experience. This doesn't mean that you need to be an expert in any of these items, but we're going to touch on a lot of these things, so it's helpful if you just have an understanding of some of the concepts in scripting and variables, things like that. So really this is just meant to show you how to build this item in NNM as quickly as possible so you can show value. So I'm going to show you two use cases. Building a layer 2 link map with 3 hops. Actually, I think I do 2 hops in the URL, but that's adjustable. Takes you to the NNM interface and then link to a node form in the NNM interface. Again, it's very flexible, so refer to the admin guide, the chapter integrating NNMi elsewhere with URLs. It gives you all of the different areas of NNM that you can lift up using a URL. So from the admin guide, what we see here is kind of the base of how we would build a layer 2 map link. And this is the actual link that we take from my UAT lab. So we replace the name or IP address with an actual IP address of a device in there. And then the same thing with the show node form link. Again, you can see the differences in the URLs. In the admin guide, you can kind of see, it shows you what options you can put in here, and then our node name is the same one. So when we use those links, this is what shows up in the NNM interface. We have our layer 2 map here with our hops and our node form. This goes right to the actual node that's having the issue. One thing to note is that if you look at the URL, there are no credentials there. You can pass credentials. I would recommend doing, obviously a read-only user. Otherwise, when you click on that, you're going to be asked to log in. So the user that's getting the email is going to need to have an NNM login. And depending on your authentication setup, it could take them directly as a read-only user anyway. So it just depends on how you have your authentication set up in NNM. So we'll jump into the live demo here. We're going to modify the node down event, and then we'll take a look at the script and how we adjust that so we get our email the way that we want it to be. So there's my NNM console. We'll go ahead and open up the node down event. We'll just double click on this, and we go over to the Actions tab. So you can see here I already have my automatic action set up, and this is where we talk about built-in variables for NNM. So $name, $SNN, $MGA, these are all built-in variables that we can use from NNM, and this passes the name, $name passes the name of the event. So this is the node down event, so we would see node down. SNN is the short node name. $MGA is the management address and severity, first occurrence time. $message is the message that we have configured for the event. So in this case, it would just pass node down for the message. So again, refer to the documentation about all the variables you can use. So what we're doing is we're just going to run this whole command on the NNM server. It's running on, this server is running on a Windows platform. So we'd run C script, and then here's a path to our scripts on the NNM server and the arguments that we're passing into that script. After we have our event modified, we make sure that we're enabled here, and we save and close this. And the next time we throw a node down event, we're going to run that script. So let's take a look at that script here. You can see here that path matches what we have in the NNM console, d:\scripts, and then email.vbs. So if we look at our script, we'll just go over this very briefly. We'll note that we are expecting a specific number of arguments. So if we want to test this, we want to make sure that we have the right arguments in here. So let's go ahead and test this out. Let's go to C script. And then email.vbs. So our first argument is the name, so it would have been node down, and the node name. So in our example, we used this specific node 10.20.1.16. And then the management address. In this case, it was the same. With severity, let's say it's critical. The first occurrence time is, let's just say right now, when this is actually passed from NNM, it's going to have an actual timestamp there. And then our message is the node is down. So we just want to make sure that we have the right amount of arguments here. So again, if you're familiar with scripting, a lot of this isn't anything extremely difficult to deal with. So we'll go ahead and send that to our SMTP server. And that says it's sent. So let's look at our email. So we can see how our message is formatted. There's our node, the IP address, severity, time right now, and our message. So we can see our script works. So now what we want to do is add in the link that we created from the PowerPoint. So we don't want to add this in, but we need to make sure that we're going to be dynamic in how we create our link here, because obviously this is hard-coded. So let's actually just we'll just copy this right out of here. And let's put that into a notepad. So I got that nice and big so you can see that. The main line that we're interested in here is our body, the body of the email in the script. So let's copy that out. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add this link on here. So if you're familiar with HTML at all, this specifies a carriage return. So what we're going to need to do is we need to add this URL to the end of this message. So in the script, in VB script, the ampersand is the concatenation. So you can see that we just got one long string here, and we're just concatenating everything on that, and then we have some line breaks for formatting. So again, if we look at our email, we can see where we put our line breaks in there to make it more readable. So let's just add this on. So we're going to concatenate that, put our quote, and let's add a couple extra page breaks here and put in our link. Now we need to variabilize our name, otherwise we're always going to get the same host. So we'll just do what we've done the whole time. Quote, concatenate with the ampersand, and put in the MGT address. So this is the variable that we were using in the script to put our management IP address there. So if you come back to our script, you can see MGT ADR is looking for a specific argument. So again, this is where we kind of come back to, if you just know a little bit about scripting, just making sure that our variables, our arguments are placed in the correct format here. Then we can make sure that our email is formatted correctly. And then we make sure that we close off our string. with the quotes, and so that should add on our link to the very end there. So you can take a screenshot of that, and let's copy this, and then we're going to take our message body here and delete that out, and then replace it, and then save that, and then we're going to go ahead and send our email again. Okay, that's sent, and let's look at our email. So now we have our link here. So let's go ahead and click on that. So again, through some HTML programming, we can make this so it's not such an ugly link. Plenty of resources on HTML on the internet for you to look at. You click on that. So like I said before, because we're not passing credentials, we are asked to log in. So let's log in here. And then we see our layer 2 map based on our address that was shown here. So now that we have that working, all we need to do is take our second URL in here and add that in, and then variabilize that as well, and then we'll have a couple of links in our emails for our customers. So hopefully that was helpful, and that will allow you to show value to your customers quickly. And sending them emails with links back to the application lets them see everything that you've got going on. So I hope you like this. We welcome any feedback. Again, this is Jay Batsman with Greenlight Group, and we'll talk to you later.